Hey, I heard you've been needing some advice. Well, you've come to the right place. Maryam knows best. Hi y'all, welcome back to another video. Super glad that you were intrigued enough to come and click on this video. Super happy to see you guys again. Or if you're new here, good to meet you. Hi, I'm Maryam. I'm your little sister that knows what the heck she's talking about, okay? So all those times that you've been in your life listening to your siblings and they were just running a yappa, telling you some advice yet you didn't hear, I'm here to tell you that advice again, okay? Because little sisters and younger siblings actually know what the heck they're talking about. Give them their credit where it's due. I'm a younger sibling ambassador, okay? So throughout all of these videos that you watch, I will basically be catering to giving you advice on life. Any advice that I've grown in my life, any wisdom that I've taken from anyone, and me just sharing that with you in a little sister perspective. So, before we get into the video, I want to already start off by saying, I know I'm in a different setting. Yes, we know. Like, I know y'all like, what the heck is happening? Your girl is at home, okay? Your girl is home, okay? It is summer break, and I am home. I don't got nothing else to do with my life, so I said, let me pull out this camera and get to work, okay? So, yeah. We are back home, new setting. If you can't tell already, I tried to get the books. Like, I tried, y'all. Like, at least I didn't just give y'all a backdrop and call it a day. I gave y'all some books in the back, a little bit. You know, it's the best I could do. I do intend on getting a bigger collection. But, yes, that is the whole elephant in the room. Now that you guys gotten accustomed to, you know, who I am, what I do, why the backdrop is different, let's get to the point. What exactly are we here for? So today's video's topic is how to take advantage of free will. Yes. I think that this word is not talked about enough. I think that people do not take advantage of their free will. And I will get more into that in a second. So in my last video, I talked about overall I was just running my mouth saying how I felt. But if you're new here and you're not used to seeing all of my videos all the time, what I usually do is I give you 5 topics and I break them down, and basically there's steps to being able to do these things and give you a clear analysis and view of how you're supposed to go about this whole process, right? So the 5 topics goes as follows. So 1 will be, you are perfect. Yep, I said it. You are perfect. 2 will be my philosophy. I have created a philosophy and I have shared it with my family members. They haven't used it yet because they don't appreciate their younger sibling yet, but they will soon. They will soon. I'm not giving up. But my philosophy. 3, how do you start? Where do we begin, Maryam? You got this whole big broad idea, but you're not giving us the steps. I will give you the steps. How do we start? 4, what are the results? What the heck will I get out of using my free will in a good way? What the heck? Okay, so what? Like, what's the results? I will give you the results. And then 5, I'll give you a recap so that you can be able to just like re-understand and then be like, this ate down. I'm like, yep, it sure did. So those are the 5 topics. So let's go ahead and get started at 1. So topic number 1, you are perfect. Now, before I begin, I want to say anything that I say incorrectly about Islam, may God forgive me for it and make it easier for me to tell the truth in the aspect if I say anything wrong. May God help me say the words correctly and explain it in the most accurate way that I know how, okay? But I'm going to put this in a perspective of Islam, right? So I'm Muslim, so I go about my life in the walks of my faith. So for me, all of what I'm saying in this video is really from perspective and standpoint of Islam. So I want to say that before I begin. And you, by far, if you're not Muslim, you're allowed to still take this and walk in your path with it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean it's inaccurate. It's really a philosophy. It's really a thought, right? So you're allowed to be able to still use this if you're not Muslim. But let me get to the point. So in Islam, we have a thing that was created. It's called a tablet, right? And it's not literally a tablet, not an iPad, not a tablet, y'all, but a book, a huge book that was created that says every single thing that's going to happen in a person's life, that's going to happen on earth, that's going to happen before we know what's going to happen. Like everything that's going to play out in mankind, that's going to happen. And the world these days have created this perception that they say humans are not perfect, right? They say we make mistakes, we do wrong, it's okay, we were never made to be perfect, we make mistakes. I have changed my perspective. I have now looked at my life and I have noticed that we live in a world where we are too busy putting ourselves in a box with everybody else and not just living our own lives. We are too busy trying to be like everybody else, which is why they say we're not perfect as a whole. But what if I told you that you were perfect on your own? What if I told you that that's not true, that you are not perfect? Because that's wrong. You are perfect. You want to know something? I need you to understand that if there was a tablet created that already says every single thing that's going to happen in your life, before you even know that you're going to do it, it's already been written. Tell me how you make a mistake. Tell me how you actually do something wrong. If you don't put yourself in the box with everybody else, you could never make a mistake. You know why? Because you are the only person perfect for your life. Nobody else could be Maryam. Nobody else could be you, right? Nobody else can be you. So you are perfect. Whatever thing that you have, whatever happens in your life, whatever situation plays out in your life where you think that this is wrong and it's not supposed to happen, and you're like, you need to look at yourself, sit back and say, yeah, mankind's not perfect, but I am. Because my story is happening exactly how it is supposed to happen. All of the wrong, all of the right is right. All of it. Everything you do in your life has already been written and planned. So there's no mistake that you can really make. So that's why I say you are perfect. I need you to look at yourself and say, I'm going to take myself away from the perception of mankind and put myself in a perception of me. Put myself to the side, take myself out of the group with them, and put me here. What am I doing? What does my life hold? Okay, my life. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? So don't beat yourself up about the mistakes you make in your life. Don't beat yourself up about feeling like you're not working hard enough. Don't do that to yourself. You need to remind yourself that everything that is happening in your life is happening for you and it's happening to you so that you can grow. Okay? So that's topic number 1. I have a huge dream that I want for my life. I have really come to a point where in my life where I have said to myself, I want to see how far I'll go. Beyonce said that too, right? I got 1,000,000 miles on me. They want to see how far I go. Little do they know I got 1,000,000 miles on me, right? I do not believe in stopping myself from something. I believe in being the most delusional person in the world, and I have no problem with it. I've had people call me delusional so many times. I've had people call me naive. And honestly, like, I have learned to accept it. It used to hurt my feelings. I used to be like, are you for real? Like, is my aspirations really naive? Am I really delusional? And it turns out, y'all, I'm not delusional. I just am very, very ambitious, and I don't believe in stopping myself from my dreams because of what the masses think, right? People do that to themselves all the time. They say, well, this didn't work out for so-and-so, so it can't work out for me because I'm less than so-and-so. You don't know what God has planned for you. You have no idea. And you want to know something? All that's going to happen, if you're not supposed to have that dream, you won't have it. I know me. If I'm not supposed to go and work in the music business, guess what's gonna happen? I'm so minuscule to God. I'm such a tiny little thing to him. He gonna grab me by my little head and turn me and say, nope, go that way. So why do we stop ourselves and be the judgment? So why are you being the person to tell yourself what and what not you can do? Why are you limiting yourself when you have no idea what your life holds for you? I get very passionate about this now because I realize that we live in a world of people who really don't think that they're capable of greatness. They don't think that because of what they're surrounded by, and they let what they're surrounded by be their like actual life. They say, okay, I'm poor right now, I'm gonna stay poor because my mom was poor, my auntie was poor, my grandma was poor, so I'm gonna be poor. No. They could all be poor. You know why they were poor? Because they did exactly what you're doing right now. Because they did not fight and push for their dreams. And if they did, good for them. You know what happened? They gave up. Because guess what? Your grandma ain't dead. Your auntie ain't dead. Your uncle ain't dead. All of them, they all alive. So they gave up on their dream. They said, oh, well, oops. It's not going to work. Opposed to them pushing. Right? Because eventually they would have gotten there had they just kept their head on a straight path and a straight narrow. Like, they would have gotten there because they did not stop. They did not give up. They did not say, all right, this is my limit, I give up. No, because they still living their life right now, but they sad and they poor and they broke, struggling, miserable. Do you want to be that? Do you want to go down the same path that they did? And I'm gonna be honest, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want y'all to understand that. Like, I want to be as transparent about that as possible. I know that came out extremely aggressive, and I'm sorry, but that's what I mean. Like, you have to understand that you don't know your path. You have no idea how long it's going to take for you to get there. You don't know how much value you will get out of the process. There's nothing greater than being on the journey, opposed to like what I said in the last video, you sitting there stuck in the cave, sitting in the dark part of it, just being miserable and sad. Like, no, push forward, keep going. It's gonna be hard. Like I talked about this, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But guess what? Guess what's gonna happen in the end? You're gonna be successful and you're gonna sit back and be like, dang, I did that. And I'm glad I didn't give up. You know why? Because not only are you making yourself successful, but you paving the way and pushing so hard for yourself is gonna be you pushing and paving the way for your family. Your family's gonna look at you and appreciate you so much more because you didn't give up. Your kids are gonna look back at your life and be like, dang, my mom did that, my dad did that, I can do that. They're gonna look back at your life. You're not doing this just for you, you're doing this for other people as well. And you have to understand that. You gotta think about your legacy and what you want to be. Alright, so topic number 3. Let's get down to business, okay? Let's actually get to the point. How do I start? When do I start using my free will, Maryam? The first thing that you do is you start breaking away from barriers. You break down all these walls, because really what it is we're in this big old box, y'all, and it is mass perception, and they call it facts, right? I love that statement. We live in a world of mass perception, but they call it facts. Unless we talk about science, if we talk about math, if we're talking about genetics, like all this stuff, like if we're talking about like literal facts, it's different. But when we live in a world of people saying weighing 200 pounds is fat, that's mass perception, and they've called it a fact. right? If we're living in a world where they say if you dress like this, you're feminine, and if you dress like that, you're masculine, that's mass perception, and they called it a fact. So break away from mass perception, right? Build your own narrative. Tell yourself who you are. Don't let somebody else's opinion and somebody else's ideals and these things be your life. One thing I will say is that it is okay to gain knowledge from people. It is okay to learn financial literacy, psychology, all of these things, you know, watching these videos about the it girls, this, it girl, that, you know what I'm saying, learning about astrology. It's okay to gain knowledge, but it's a problem when you create it to be your life, but you're using it to deprecate yourself, to take away from who you really are. When you start to look at yourself and you look at somebody else and you say that they're better than you, that's when it becomes a problem. So that's how you start to take advantage of free will. You start saying, you know what? I actually want to do this instead, and I can because nobody's gonna stop me, right? I actually like how I look, so I'm gonna start walking around like I'm just the most beautiful girl in the world, and I'm gonna start telling people I'm the most beautiful girl in the world, you know, like, because you can. Nobody's gonna stop you. So that's how you start. That's how you begin. That's the first thing that you do. You say to yourself, I don't care what other people think. I'm gonna do what I want. A side little point that I want to make is that the other day I went down, I live in Philly, by the way. Another day I went down to Penn's Landing when I got back to Philly. I was like, let's go to a cafe, you know, something a little cute. And it was actually really cute, y'all. They had this like really tall like bookshelf, and it was like perfect. Like it looked just like my backgrounds. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could film here, but I still have social anxiety. Not yet. Like I was like, no, not yet. But basically, yeah. And I went to Penn's Landing and I walked up the little pier, and there's a little thing where it's like it stops, like the highway of it stops. And I was like, this is an abandoned highway. Like, what if I just walked to the end of it and just looked? Like, I just want to do it. Like, why not? And everything in me was saying, no, Maryam, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if they look at you like you're crazy? Oh my God, Maryam, please, no. I said, Maryam, if you don't walk your behind down to that, you want to do it, do it. There's nobody here. It's safe. Walk to the end of the freaking thing and go look. It was nothing there for me to look at, y'all, but I did it. You know what? It made me happy. It made me real happy. I felt like a little ditzy little girl dancing in the middle of an abandoned highway. Like, it was fun. And that was me taking advantage of my free will. That was me forgetting what everybody else thinks and saying, you know what, I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it anyway, right? So once you start to break down those barriers, y'all, and you start to really come to a place of saying what makes me happy, what do I want to do, you can start going forward and doing this on a mass level. And let's start talking about the mass level. When it comes to making bigger and like huge goals for yourself and really breaking down those barriers and coming up with your own ambitions with no limits to them, is honestly the best feeling, right? To be able to say to yourself that I've done these small things for myself, I can do something big now, right? Once you start to do the little small things and you get comfortable with that and saying, I don't care about other people's perception anymore, I swear and I promise you, you will start looking at your life so different. You will start looking at your life so different, and you will say to yourself, there's nothing I can't do. So you have to do the small things in order to do the big thing. That's the important part, right? You have to do these small things in order to do the big thing, right? So start by taking baby steps. You want to have straight A's in college? You ain't got no barriers. Nobody's stopping you from it. Your class hard? Okay, take extra tutoring. Keep pushing, keep fighting, build a good relationship with your professors, work your behind off, go on the internet and take some extra classes about this class that you're already taking. Really, like, give it your all. That's the key to getting what you want. Give it your all. So work hard. Don't work harder, work smarter, right? Really give it your all, but be smart and strategic about it. Don't burn yourself out in the process, right? And that's the first video, right? Build that contract, right? once you do that, break down all your walls, break down all your barriers, create this narrative perspective for yourself. Build yourself up so that you can tell yourself, I can do whatever I want to do. You want to be a millionaire? Put in that work for it, because there's nothing stopping you from getting there. But put that work in and you'll have it. Don't think anything is going to come to you easily. I believe in this whole law of attraction stuff and manifestation. I believe in it. But I need you to understand that this comes with work. Don't none of this stuff come easy. You don't just sit there and say, I'm going to have it and have it. No. Behind everything that somebody has manifested, law of attraction, like anything, they have worked for it. You got to work for everything that you want in life. Don't be lazy. Push yourself to your limit. So for the first time in forever, my tangents have actually been useful. So just like I was saying in the last topic, it leads right into 4, right? Which is the results. So like I said to you guys before, I have spoken to my family about this, and I have told them about this, and I'm not sure if they actually listened and they actually use it or not, but during the time that I explained this to them, I actually had never implemented it, right? So now that I have had more experience, I've had more time, I've had my grace period of YouTube videos, I've been actually giving myself time to be able to implement this and see if it actually works. And y'all, it does work. It does work. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 examples of how exactly me using my free will has actually been useful for me. So one thing that I wanted to do on campus when I got here is to become a student leader. I said, no matter what I do on campus, like, I want to be in a space where I'm really implementing like my talents and the tools that I've grown within to be able to help and support people become better. So I said I wanted to be a student leader, and I went through many processes. I tried to be an SGA, and that didn't work out. So I said to myself, I'm not gonna let this be like a place that I give up and I say, you know what, fine, it's just not gonna work out. And I kept pushing, and eventually I got on to the MSA board, which is Muslim Student Association. And from there, I can say now, as of my very first year of college, that I'm president of Muslim Student Association. And that did not come from me just, pushing. Because honestly, y'all, I was in a mental headspace where I had to break down barriers. And I had to say, so what if it's your first year? You can do it. You're strong enough to be a president of an organization. You're strong enough to be in this leadership role. You have what it takes to allow people to speak their mind and delegate at the same time. You have the capacity to do it, so why not, So I had to tell myself that, and I had to remind myself of that, and I broke down my walls of all these other things in my head, saying, am I good enough? Am I able to do this? How will other people look at me? Will other people accept me? And I said, no, this is what I want to do. I know that I am capable of it, so I'm going to do it anyway. That's me taking advantage of my free will, and I got exactly what it is that I wanted. So the second thing was my whole process of getting here. I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Greater, but basically it's about this kid. He was like 200 pounds at his young age. I think he was like 10 or something. He was like, I'm gonna be a Razorback. And his brother was like, yeah, okay, sure. Right. All right, kid. And he got into the school. Like, he kept pushing, and he was like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be great at it, and I'm gonna be a Razorback. Like, I'm gonna play as a Razorback. And he met the coach. The coach was like, yeah, you're not big enough. And he was like, bet, say no more, I'm gonna get bigger enough. He was eating like terribly awful and all this stuff, and he was like, I'm going to become this. I know that it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna become this. And the day that he got accepted into the school, literally his mom did not have the money for it. She said, you have 1 year to get the tuition for this school and you can stay, but I can only afford a year. That's it. I can only afford your freshman year. And He worked his behind off. Like, he worked so hard. And I'm gonna try not to cry because the fact, like, I get emotional thinking about that movie because of the fact that literally his story is really so similar to mine. I was in a place where I can barely afford my school. Like, and I don't know what told me to go to this school, but I stuck to it. And I did not, like, I was really scrambling and trying to find the money, y'all. And I said, I'm going to keep trying these things. I'm applying to all kinds of scholarships. I'm trying to be in this organization so I can make funding from there. I'm trying to join the honors program. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I came to a place where I said, I have to do what I got to do to stay here. And I applied to be an RA. And y'all, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know if I'm really capable of this. And as much as I believed in myself, I believe my family believed in me more. They said, Maryam, you've been bossing your brothers around your whole freaking life. Like, being an RA is the job for you. What are you talking about? And I had to internalize that. And I had to take that in. And I had to say, break down these barriers. You're only telling yourself you're not capable because you're scared of you not being good at it. Because you don't know. You're afraid of the unknown. And you know what, y'all? I said, even though I'm scared and I don't know if I'm good at this or not, I became an RA, y'all. I'm an RA now. And to be able to do that, I had to break down barriers. I had to tell myself, who cares about what other people think? What are you? What have you done? What do you bring to the table? And as I'm going through these interview processes and I'm talking to these people who are already RAs, I'm realizing more and more I do have what it takes. All right, so let's get down to our last topic, which is the recap. I'm going to give you guys just a whole wraparound of everything that I said, all in a big bowl of mush. Gold mush, because what I say is gold. Mashallah. But I want to say is, like I said, you're absolutely perfect. Your life is what your life is made to be. There's nothing that you will do in your life that is not supposed to happen. Don't beat yourself up and tell yourself, I'm doing this wrong, I'm not on the right path, I'm going in the wrong direction, because that ain't true. You have no idea what your life has in store for you. You have no idea. So why not dream and then go chase them? Whatever dream you have for your life, chase them, because you have no idea whether you're wrong or right. Every decision you make is going to be right, so why not chase your dreams? And last but not least, if you just keep going, and I'll say it exactly how Uncle Iro said it, like I said in the last video. Life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place. Keep pushing. Do not give up on your dreams. If you feel like you're not going on the right path, but you still got that itch in your heart to do it, keep going. Don't let fear stop you from achieving your goals and persevering in whatever it is that you want in your life. Keep moving forward. You will come to a better place. You will come to the success, no matter the hardship, no matter if you believe in it or not. If the goal means something and it can create change in this world, and it's something that you want deeply, do it. Okay? Do it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Filming this video was hard. My phone. My phone! It kept saying like the storage was going off, so y'all, I was fighting for my life through this video. But I really mean what I say when I say it. Honestly, just keep persevering, keep fighting. Don't let other people's narratives get in the way of your dreams. Use your free will. You have been blessed to have the opportunity to do whatever you want in this life. Do whatever you want in this life. Take advantage of that. Stop wasting your life on other people's expectations and use your own. I say this to myself all the time. Who cares about other people's expectations? Your expectation for yourself is way higher than theirs is for you. So push yourself to your limits. See how far you can go, babe, because I promise you got 1,000,000 miles on you. Okay? I love you. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. Bye.